Bird of Prey 5. El Karuga. Kapla. Kapla.
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Karuga. That's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
If you come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. If you're here to make war, we surrender.
Both good. The important thing is I'm meeting new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. People, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. And that means you're going to make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Bird o' Prey 5 channel. Hail Karoga.
Hello world, it's Bird o' Prey 5. Kapla. Welcome to Bed Life for Monday, June 5th, 2023. And I've come to the realization that the National Day calendar I use is bogus. It lists today as a bank holiday in London, England, and a real person from London, the lovely Yvette, confirmed it is absolutely not a bank holiday in London, England today, or anywhere in the UK. So, WTF? How can I trust any of these days have ever been valid? I feel like I've been taken advantage of. They've scandalized me, and now the only thing I can do, I assume, is sue. So if you want to be part of the class action lawsuit, send me $5. No. Just keep on watching. And LDG with a gifted membership. Thank you, LDG. Gifted another membership. This month it goes to, no, not this month. This one goes to John DeMarco for another month of membership. Thank you so much, LDG. Welcome back to the membership, John DeMarco. And the Random Menace with his 32nd consecutive month of membership. Super chat. Says, greetings from the future. Good to see you streaming. Thank you, Random Menace. It's good to feel good enough to stream. To be honest, even just a couple hours ago, I was 50-50. And I said, okay, I'll just go ahead and do it. If I can't stream for long, and if I have to end early, obviously you guys will understand. But better to try it and have to end than skip it and then be annoyed that I skipped it completely. So, and then to be honest, I never look. I never look at the likes and the dislikes of my old streams because, to be completely honest, and I do not mean to be insensitive, I love all of you guys. I love your opinions. But to be blunt, I don't give a fuck about my likes versus my dislikes. I never did. But because yesterday, my, which I consider disastrous choice to do an all-day city skyline stream, and then I ended up only being able to speak for, I'd say, 5% of the total stream. That was not the plan. The plan was to be talking at least 50% plus of the time, if not 80% of the time, and just have occasional down periods. So anyway, I figured, let me just look at how bad that stream was rated out of curiosity, morbid curiosity. And you guys, not a single unlike, not a single downvote, which is quite different from most of my other streams where I get the occasional 1 or 2 downvotes. And I always have for years and years and years. And that's fine. Like I said, to be completely blunt, I don't care. But yesterday, out of a morbid curiosity for what I thought was an absolute disaster of a stream, the streaming equivalent to the Hindenburg or the Titanic. And I went and I looked, and not a single downvote. And that's just because you guys who would even come to a stream like that and spend any time, you guys are particularly kind-hearted. So it brought a tear. There was some soot in the air today, not just from the Canadian wildfires that are actually sooting up New York City's air, but there was some soot that made it into Casa Au Pre, and Sassy and I shed a little tear today. So I couldn't let you guys down. Not Ryan Johnson, first in the chat today, says hello in Kapla. Hail Karoga. Hail Karoga. And he says, I thought of Berto Prey 5's thoughts. I thought all of Berto Prey 5's thoughts were random. That is true. They mostly are. Moira Kitty. Hey, Moira. Moira sends hugs. Hugs, Moira, and a meow. And Richie Poole also meows. Welcome, Moira. Mr. Londell's Groovy Movies says, Kapla, Kapla, Mr. Londell. I hope you're doing well. I hope the new job is going well. John Iraqi says, these random thoughts are a menace. Hakeem says, Kapla Bird, hope you're feeling better today. Thank you, Hakeem. I'd say better than yesterday. Not nearly as good as usual, but better than yesterday. Captain Fandom Nerd says, hello, hello, Captain. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says, Kapla, finally a day for me. Kapla, Gorilla. And I'm sorry we didn't get to see Twilight Zone. I couldn't do Twilight Zone yesterday. Good news for next week, when presumably we will get back to Twilight Zone. It appears I will have a source for the physical media and be able to do the Twilight Zone without the Tubi commercials in it. But we'll double check that everything works before then. But either way, as long as I'm feeling up to it, Twilight Zone with possibly without the Tubi commercials. Yvette says, good evening, Bird and everyone. Good evening to the lovely Yvette. John Araki says, new intro music still doesn't hit quite right. Thank you, John. That's the next thing I really need to do is finish up my new intro, and I'll try some different music. LDG at hashtag free the net says, howdy, my little lovely 2X. Yes, temporarily change your YouTube speed to 2X and you'll catch up, even if it's just 5 or 10 seconds behind, it'll catch you up to as close to real time as possible. Todd Jenny says, random thought, how about extolling the virtues of the best alpacan ally and space engineer addict on his 48th birthday? Is today your birthday, Todd Jenny? Happy birthday, Todd Jenny, aka T-Berg Sci-Fi Tech, the best space engineer player I knew. Very close, Wesley Crusher, very close behind. But the two of them, excellent space engineers, players. And T-Berg, aka Todd Jenny, to this day continues to build Kurogan with Kuroga on his mind. Now, granted, he did attack the bird tower, so I'd have to give him some crap for that. But I do have to wish him a proper happy birthday. And Yvette, the lovely Yvette with a £2 sterling super chat. Fingers crossed for Kissing Dax for you all. Thank you, Yvette. Not today, but it is still appreciated. So Todd, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Todd Jenny. Happy birthday to you. 5,200 hours on Space Engineers. My God. Divide by 24. That's like 200 days. Is my math right? Shit, I got to use a calculator. 5,200 divide by 24. Yeah, 216.6 bar days. Jesus Christ. That's the better part of a year. A better part of a year. That's 2 years. That's more than a year. If you count 8 hours to sleep, that's a year. If you count 8 hours to sleep, 16 hours a day, that is a full year of doing nothing but sleeping and playing Space Engineers. You should get something back for that. That is crazy. Well, happy birthday. So 48 years old, 47 of them not playing Space Engineers. Oh my God. Cinnabon Bunny says, hello, Cinnabon. And congrats, Cinnabon. Was listening to your stream. I hear you're bringing back some actual live bunny streams. You recently put up a short with one of the new bunnies, and it was good to hear that you're bringing back. It'll be Strawberry, and I forget the name of the other bunny, but cool to see. And your channel is doing well. It's awesome to hear. So it's very, very good. Guys, if you're not already subscribed, I can't imagine anyone here not subscribed to Cinnabon Bunny. But if you aren't, please do. Pop Culture Curator Kapla Pop says, hello guys, Kapla Bird. Hope you are doing well, Pop. I hope you are doing well. I still have your it's not a GoFundMe. Go send, give, send, go. Your give, send, go link, guys, please, if you can help out Pop Culture Curator. He you can read more about it. He has a serious medical condition and he needs a little help to keep his place and to keep his animals. And we want to help him. So please check it out. And Arabic Sonder with a $1 super chat and Kissing Dax. Thank you, Arabic. And thank you to the gods that bring us Kissing Dax. John Araki says free memberships are freaking sweet. Another person who has a free membership. Ken Jack Ben says Bird Ray 5. Greetings and salutations from Vallejo, California. Greetings, Ken Jack Ben. I don't exactly remember where Vallejo is, but it makes me think of Rancho Santa Fe and Southern California and the times I spent down there. And let me tell you, as much as I dislike the politics of California, California is some of the most beautiful, picturesque geography, topography, mountains and valleys, deserts and lush, almost jungles, green valleys, beautiful
Indications negative at this time.
places in this country. Southern California, and then Northern California, Central California, a lot of California, Jesus Christ, the whole of the Southwest. In fact, this whole nation is exceptionally beautiful, but California is exceptionally also beautiful, as is Arizona, as is really every state in its own way. But man, I do miss my Southern California escapades. Can't even describe coming around some of those roads and you see just these big mountains, completely lush green. Of course, 6 months later, they could be burning in a hellscape on Earth. You'd be running for your life. But if you time it right and they're green and beautiful, my God, some of the most beautiful places on Earth. Anyway, Vallejo, wherever that is, Ken Jack Ben, I hope you enjoy it. Yvette says, Bird, I can confirm it's Love Quantum Physicist Day. Oh, awesome. It's Love Quantum Physicist Day. So happy Love a Quantum Physicist Day to the lovely Yvette. John Araki says Bird doesn't have time to worry about his dislikes because AOC still isn't following him. How do I know that she's not following me? Maybe she is a secret fan. I'd like to think that she stalks me and not the other way around. Cody Guy is waving. Hey, Cody Guy. Gorilla's Random Thoughts is Bird. Your stream was great. My Babylon 5-1. I almost want to delete. Oh, come on, Gorilla. Babylon 5 isn't that bad. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm sorry, Gorilla. I wasn't at your stream. To be frank, I tried so hard to like Babylon 5. I can't. I just can't do it. I'll try again. But leave it, Gorilla. There's no reason to delete it. Hey, you know what? As shitty as I thought my stream yesterday was, deleting it wasn't something I even considered. At worst, I was going to private it or make it a members only content, but delete it? Nah, fuck it. Why? That's too much. That's good for YouTube. Fuck YouTube. I'm not gonna help them by deleting content on my own accord. Let them delete it if they don't like it. John Araki, hashtag leave Bird garbage. Thank you, John. Todd Jenny says, Bird, you didn't even crash a computer or a server. What the hell? Words and Pictures says, Kapla Bird, good to hear you. Thanks for streaming today. Guys, you have to thank me. Thank you for being here. John Araki says, hashtag Kronos always downvotes. That might be true. And John Araki, hashtag Klingon deaths matter. I guess. Depends. John Araki says, question of the day for Mamo Pray. Any tips for staying cool during the summer heat? Hashtag it's El Nino. So I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and say Mamo Pray laughed at that because Mamo Pray is always cold. If it's 80 degrees, she's cold. Okay, Mamo Pray, tips for staying cool in the summer heat. It's don't be in my house because the air is on.
Can you see me right now?
I can't see you right now. Mamo Pray will explain.
I have on.
She has on
T-shirt,
a t-shirt,
a sweatshirt,
a sweatshirt,
and
jacket,
no, an overshirt.
an overshirt of some type. 3 shirts.
Right.
3 shirts.
And I am sitting here on the recliner.
And on a heated recliner.
I don't have the heat on.
Well, it is a heated recliner. You just don't have the heat on.
From
Covered from neck down
and wrapped around my feet in a blanket.
and wrapped around her feet a blanket. So Mamo Pray tries to stay warm. She doesn't try to stay cool. She tries to stay warm.
With you.
Mamo Pray, I have it at 77 or 76 today. There are days, listen, okay, when I first got sick, you know, I kept the thermostat at 68. 68 in the summer. Now I keep it there are days I keep it at 78. Although today I believe it's at 76. That's how much my body has changed. Okay, at 68, I used to be comfortable. Now, 75, 76, 77.
But it's the air is constantly blowing.
Yes, the air blows and it's colder.
That's all right.
The vents are at floor level, and Mamo Prey is not that tall,
I'm walking
so she's walking around at floor level.
up.
I'm not up higher these days, although my legs aren't low, so I'm not getting the cold in the cold. I guess because I'm in a bed,
Yeah,
the cold air kind of goes under me.
so, sorry, I don't have tips.
No.
Anybody wants to keep cool, they just come in.
You bet. Mamo Prey doesn't have any tips for staying cool. Yvette says fake again. I'm sorry, Yvette. She got that. It's a fake again. Jenny says, do I quit the addiction or hack the hours meter for 5,200 hours on Space Engineers? Both. And he says, that's why I don't own a console. Now Space Engineers is on consoles. Yeah, I saw that. Words and Pictures says happy birthday to Todd Jenny. I put in the link to Pop Culture Curators Give, Send, Go. And Todd says hey to Cinnabon. Says hey back. You are most welcome, Pop Culture Curator. LDG yells again. Deej is in the house. Says afternoon, folks. Afternoon, Deej. Deej put up a farm life video yesterday. I got to see him mowing on a particularly hot day. And Arabic Sonder says bam. LDG says money on Dax again. When did that come in? I missed that one, LDG. LDG with a $2 super chat says money on Dax again. But I don't think it got Dax. Yvette says Bird. Is it the member stream tomorrow? No, it's the second Tuesday of the month. So that will be Tuesday the 13th. Tuesday, June 13th is the member stream. Todd Jenny says California has a larger population than Canada. I'm not surprised. Canada is not a very highly populated country, and like 99% of the Canadian population lives within like 10 miles of the US border. It's crazy. Arabic says, I think it's next Tuesday. Yes, it is the second Tuesday. Thank you, Arabic. Todd Jenny says, burning, sliding with mud. Captain Fandom Nerd says hi to Ken Jack. Todd Jenny says, kiss a Gordon Freeman day. What? And Todd Jenny says, hey, suits and crowbars all around. Todd Jenny says, Salty was complaining Captain Foley stole his topic of Trek vs. Battlestar Galactica. I assured Captain Foley that Salty was confused, that Battlestar Galactica is Bird Says Garbage to Salty. BSG is Bird Says Garbage to Salty. Todd Jenny says Mom should be wearing Birdo Prey merchandise. She does sometimes. Well, she has the pillow.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
She's got the pillow. She's got the mug. Todd Jenny says hashtag buy Mamo Prey a parka.
Yeah,
a parka. Yeah, that Russian thing, right? Is that like a Russian coat?
No, it's like
the thing you put your arms through?
no, it's a coat
A coat.
with a hood.
Oh.
With, like,
What do they call that thing that the Russians, they put their arms through in Siberia to keep their arms warm? You used to see them in like the Bugs Bunny cartoons. Does anybody have any idea what I'm talking about?
No.
No? Shit. Maybe it's something I dreamed of. I dreamed last night that Sissel Prey came into a bunch of money, something to do with Las Vegas and a cousin of mine. I don't know how, but they struck it rich. Words and Pictures says, tip for staying cool, wet a t-shirt and put it on. No, seriously, it works. Todd Jenny says, let's build Bird and Air Scoop. John Meyer says, Bird, turn up the heat and surround yourself with fans. No, that's hot. That's like a dry heat. It's a very drying heat.
About the ice blanket when you're in the hospital.
The ice blanket. When I was sick in the hospital with a fever, a high fever, they had this modern miracle of technology. I wish. The only problem was that it was loud as hell and it put off so much heat. Not on me, thankfully, but on whatever other person it was aimed at, which was usually Mamo Prey, because she enjoyed the heat. But there was this thing called an ice blanket, and it was literally just a refrigerated blanket that's connected to this machine with the condenser in it. And so it was like an air conditioner that blew into a blanket. But yeah, it was liquid. There was a liquid in the blanket that was being continuously cooled. And they put it on me because I have like 104 plus fever. So they throw this blanket on you to cool you down. Oh, and it was so nice. It was so nice feeling that cold coolness
Every time they
on
try
me.
to take it away,
Every time they tried to take it away, I yelled. And I could barely talk. I mean, I really couldn't even talk.
you made it known.
I made it known I wanted it. It was like, fuck you, I'm keeping this. I'm going home with this. I don't know, somehow they took it away one day. They must have knocked me out. And goddamn, fever went down. I still wanted the blanket. They took it away. Yeah, it was hot. Anyway. Gorilla's Random Thoughts is Bird. Saturdays was so bad. First, I couldn't get the right movie to play. And then some kid came on the panel and wouldn't listen to not talk remotely about the topic. Then had TV loud in the background and he wouldn't turn it off. So I booted him and he spent 3 hours trying to get back in. Started swearing at me to the point my panels are now closed until further notice. Though I, Bird, have an open invite. Always. Oh, Gorilla, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, honestly, sometimes you got to kick people. And I don't know that I would close the panel to the public. You can force people to sign in. So it's not super easy to create a new account or, you know, if you go to your StreamYard settings, you can force people to sign into YouTube before they sign into StreamYard. And that'll help control the people coming on StreamYard. But don't ever feel bad. You know, don't feel bad about knocking people out of StreamYard, especially if there's audio coming through. You know, let them know it's nothing personal. It's just, you know, for everybody's sanity. You can't deal with audio. Now, if they won't stick to the topic that is more personal. Just say, listen, I'm sorry. You're not, I gave you a chance. Try again in a month. Tell them, give them a time. It's up to you. If it's a week, a month, a year, it's not today. Don't come back today. Tell them if you come back today, then it becomes a ban. But just leave, try again next time, and, you try again. Jedi Bill says, Kapla, brother warrior, bird of prey, and all should hail Karoga. Thank you, Jedi Bill. LDG says, I did. I don't know what you did, LDG, but congrats. 47 Yorktown says, hello, young sir. Hello, 47. John Araki says, Captain Foley, hashtag steals Salty's garbage. The Multi-Gunman says, Bird, welcome, Multi-Gunman. Hey, Bird, how's it going? How are you going, Multi-Gunman? I've been worse. I've been better. Todd Jenny says, if you steal turds, your videos will be shit alpacin proverb. The Multi-Gunman says, Bird is going to make Karoga great again. Karoga has always been great. Martin Devon is in the house and says, has Birds got any fans? I think you mean only fans. I do not. Technically, no OnlyFans. If I do an OnlyFans, it will be for my feet. Deed says, yeah, just ban idiots in panels. You can do that in StreamYard so they can't come back. Gorilla says he created multiple StreamYard accounts. Yeah, well, you can stop that. Deej Odyssey says hashtag or play tennis balls against the walls, drives them away like LDG. Captain Fandom Nerd says hello to Deej, says hey, you're back. And executive producer Saul Leibowitz says Kapla Bird of Prey, happy Monday. I hope you're feeling better. Kapla executive producer Saul Leibowitz, I am feeling a bit better, thank you. The Multi-Gunman says, Deej, how's it going? Plus band. Okay, let's go. I want to show you guys. I brought this up during the stream yesterday. But for those who weren't there or don't remember, there is this channel, Bryce Newall, and I'll put the link in. This is a link to a video. You can, if you're interested, subscribe to that guy's channel. He's got a ton of old videos that have interviews from various Star Trek cast members, particularly women, and Will Wheaton. That were interviews given in the 90s on local TV stations. So it's interesting. Anyway, this interview, Will Wheaton talks about how excited he was to come back for a TNG episode after he was written off the show. Remember, he was written off the show when he disappears into, nothingness with the Traveler. He didn't think he was going to be back. And then he came back, I don't know for how many episodes, but I believe the episode they're doing here is Parallels. So he was back in Parallels, obviously in a dimension, one of the many dimensions or multiverses where he didn't go off with the Traveler, I guess, and he stayed on the Enterprise. So he's talking here. I'm going to put on the audio so you can hear him talk. Now, there's a couple of things I want you to hear here. The most interesting, and now he's 21 years old here. Will Wheaton is 21 years old at this point in his life. And let's hear him talk.
Through the day, and I'm having all kinds of fun, you know, and this is what it's about. I mean, for me, this is what acting's about: having a good time and feeling good about your work, you know, not that other stuff that sort of drove me out of the industry.
Not the other stuff that drove him out of the industry. Now look at him putting his arms around Marina Sirtis. Okay, he's 21 years old. It's his first day or second day back to the set after being gone for months.
I'm going to talk to KCOP. What do they want to talk about? They want to talk about you.
So Marina is telling him that she was on WKHP or wherever, and who they want to talk about, they want to talk about you, Will Wheaton. They were asking her about him. So she was kind of like telling him that, oh, you know, you're a bigger deal than you think.
One of us can go away and come back or whatever, but we're still family. And you can see that when, you know, as you said, when you go onto the set. It's his first day back. You'd think he would have been back here for a month.
So now listen to what Will Wheaton noted, how do we put this? Noted anti-toxic male personality, social justice warrior, Will Wheaton says to Marina Sirtis.
They wanted me to wear your dress for the show.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Well,
They wanted me to wear your dress for the show. And Marina says, oh, they did?
I was wearing it.
I said I'd only wear it if you were in it.
I suppose
And he says, I said I'd only wear it if you were in it. Now, listen, I think that was pretty funny. But Will Wheaton, if somebody said that in front of him today, he would stop what he was doing and he would tell you that was a toxic statement. And he would, I have no doubt he would berate somebody for saying that. Oh, I'll only get in if you're in it. He'd say, you need to do better, or some bullshit like that. So I'll be honest, I always thought he was gay. And I'm not the only one. If you Google, is Will Wheaton gay? Sometimes you get answers that come back, yes. I swear to God. I'm not making this up. I don't think it'll happen now. But 2 years ago, when I was trying to see if he was gay, I got conflicting answers. Is Will Wheaton? I don't even care. It doesn't matter. But I know he's married, technically. Will Wheaton, wife, son, family, height. Is he gay? Is he gay? Having a mother who's an actress, it wouldn't be wrong to say Will Wheaton is one of those who plays in the veins. His first television appearance was when he starred opposite Bill Cosby in a commercial for Jell-O pudding pops. After that, his role as Wesley Crusher in the TV series Star Trek The Next Generation. Interesting, Will is not only an actor, but also a blogger and a writer. Where about, let's see. Okay. Gay is used 4 times on the page. Is he gay? He caused a media sensation in a 2005 article he wrote for Salon.com titled The Real War at Christmas, where he attacked and accused conservative commentators like Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity, and Bill O'Reilly of influence the political views of his parents, with whom he can no longer discuss political matters during Christmas parties or family gatherings. His parents were so offended by the article, they had to write a very long apology, and also did an interview where his parents clarified their political views. Is he gay? Being married to beautiful Anne for almost 2 decades with 2 stepchildren should have answered the question above. But for those who didn't bother to read, no, he is not gay. Okay. I'm telling you, Google told me he was. I know Google's not always right, but anyway. Then we get an interview of Marina Sirtis from November 8th, 1993. And this, they were filming Who Watches the Watchers.
I'm sorry.
Cut it.
You called him a cross between his planet and his name.
My name.
Yes. Boring. That's boring, isn't it?
Sirtis knew she wanted to be an actress ever since she was a little girl. Her parents weren't exactly excited about the prospect.
They knew from the age
She wanted to be an actress. Her parents were not excited.
of 3 because I knew, you know.
She wanted to be an actress from the age of 3. 3. That's an important number, not just because of that episode where Data has to remember 3. Not just because of cause and effect, but the age of 3.
As soon as I could walk virtually, I wanted to be an actress. And they didn't approve because they were Greek, and in Greece, being an actress in those days was about, you know, this much higher than walking the streets at night, so it was.
So her parents didn't want her to be an actress because for the Greeks, being an actress is a step above being a prostitute.
Wasn't a respectable profession, and they kind of hoped that I would grow out of it, and I never did. And to be totally honest, my mom didn't really ever approve of it until a couple of years ago, when.
So the parents never approved until a couple of years ago. Now this was 1993, so Next Gen had been on the air for 5 years already.
And, you know, Star Trek started in England.
Well, Mayquiz, what do you think of the Enterprise?
Oh, it is beautiful.
Sirtis is considered by many as one of the most attractive women on television.
I said Marina Sirtis is considered by many as one of the most attractive women on television.
But she was not always that way.
Without giving you like a deep psychological profile, I was a real ugly duckling up until I was
She was an ugly duckling.
About 13. I was
up until when she was about 13.
the kid that everyone made fun of in school because I was so ugly, and my husband didn't ever believe me.
She was the kid everyone made fun of in school because they were so ugly. Oh my God.
And people don't believe me, except I show them pictures now. Just, you know.
That is, as far as I can tell, the only picture of Marina Sirtis as a child. Now, I don't know why it's black and white. Obviously, the uglier one, the highlighted in white, is her. So she blossomed, as she says, when she was 13. So I'm guessing she's 11 or 12 here. And she's going to go on and use more adjectives to describe just how ugly she was.
To prove it. And I was scared.
So she shows these pictures to prove she was ugly, because people don't believe her.
Very ugly. I mean, not just slightly unpleasant, I mean, gruesome. And so
She said she was scary ugly, not just slightly unpleasant, but gruesome. Gruesomely ugly.
So when I kind of blossomed, if you like, I never quite believed it.
And then I don't know why they cut to a dog. I honestly don't. So, in my quest for trying to find more pictures of ugly duckling Marina Sirtis, I actually, and it's a bit more serious, I guess, I came across this article, which I don't remember reading at the time, but this is only from 2019, when, you know, Me Too was in its height. And surprisingly, there's no really other articles about it since, but Marina Sirtis revealed she was molested by her babysitter's teenage sons, plural, at the age of 3, as she speaks publicly about the abuse for the first time. British-born Star Trek actress Marina Sirtis was abused at the age of 3. The star from East London was molested by her baby sister's teenage sons.
Yeah.
And the worst timed kissing Dax in the history of the channel. Thank you so much, Mayor Eric Adams, for the $1.49 donation. Says, hello, Joe. It's your beloved mayor. If you didn't hear today, I am asking New Yorkers start accepting undocumented immigrants into spare rooms of their homes. Can I count on your support? If you have any undocumented immigrants who are women 18 to 21 who speak English, have some type of background in nursing, we can talk. I'm sure one of them has to fit that description. But anyway, it says, Star Trek actress Marina Sirtis has broken her silence on sexual abuse she suffered as a child. The London-born star, who was 64 at the time of this article, told The Times how she was molested by her babysitter's teenage sons when she was 3 years old. The actress, who found fame as Deanna Troi on Star Trek: The Next Generation explained the abuse left her with decades of psychological damage. My mom used to leave me with a baby minder, and it was her teenage sons who molested me, she said. I never told anyone, because even at 3, you know it's shameful, and you think somehow it's your fault. She continued, I had an eating disorder for 20 years from the age of 13, which is a fairly common response to molestation. She was molested at 3. Then at 13, develops an eating disorder that lasts for 20 years. Now, that brings her to the time that she stars in The Next Gen. So I initially thought, oh, well, she had an eating disorder and she put on a bunch of weight because she was eating, and then she lost the weight. No. So I'm guessing she had the eating disorder where she throws up. You know, what's that called? Bulimia? Or so, the one where you lose a lot of weight. Because she could see she was a bit of a bigger girl when she was in her preteen or teenage years. So I guess her eating disorder kind of got her into the physical condition that made her hired just for her physical assets. When I finally got to therapy in LA, and everybody in LA is in therapy, it's a given. Everyone in my group had been sexually assaulted at some point in their lives. Everyone in her group. Sturgis grew up in Hackney, East London, and trained at the Guildhall School of Music and Drama. She worked on the stage in the UK before moving to Los Angeles in the hope of landing a more high-profile role. Anyway, the article goes on. At no point do they give any more details. Does it say she ever confronted or charges or, anything? How old were these teenagers? I mean, were they a 12-year-old and a 13-year-old? Or is it an 18-year-old? Because I think that makes a difference. I mean, if you're going to go out and make this public, I feel like we're kind of owed a little bit more detail. But I don't know. So unfortunately, just trying to find ugly photos. And I wasn't looking for ugly photos. I was looking for photos of Marina Sirtis as a child. I'm sure I'm now on some government list. Yeah. So I hope for her sake, and she seems to be over it. But yeah, that was messed up. Of course, it's also kind of messed up that it doesn't come up again. And the only time it did come up was when everybody who was anybody had to have a story. I don't know. I'm just saying I would feel better if this had come up before or again, and not only when the news of the day was, oh, who was sexually assaulted this week? Oh, I was. And I'm just going to give a story that's just enough to be believable, but without any detail to be confirmable. And kind of opposite story I told to the news media 10 years ago. I don't know. I don't want to be a dick, but you know, I was just Googling. And that's what I found. Anyway, let's get back to the chat. 47 Yorktown says, hello, young sir. Hello, 47. I think I might. Oh, I did say hello to you. I said hello to Multi-Gunman. I said hello to Martin. I said hello to Deej. And I made it to executive producer Saul Leibowitz. And that's when I stopped. Multi-Gunman says, Deej, how's it going? Plus banned. Deej says, I'm banned. Multi-Gunman, how do you think it's going? Multi-Gunman lulls at Deej. Deej says, other than that, CAT scan this morning. Life sucks, but got a pulse. How are things with you? Oh, Deej, I hope you're okay. Multi-Gunman says it's going good and confirmed Bird is now stealing other people's content. Not stealing content. Miss Lundell's Groovy Movies says interviews of women and Will Wheaton, curiouser and curiouser. There's some interviews in there with Terry Farrell, with Nana Visitor, Gates McFadden. There's some really good stuff. I do suggest you check out that channel and look at some of those old videos. Miss Lundell says everything is peachy. Executive producer Saul Leibowitz says, I miss the 90s. Eye candy, asked Marina Sirtis. Multi-Gunman says a hypothetical, overly woke Hollywood actor. What a surprise. A hypothetical, hypocritical. Hakeem says he's a bit zesty. Ms. Lundell says 70 to 80% of Hollywood is gay. The marriage thing is only for show. Hakeem says just having kids don't mean anything. I believe they actually adopted, by the way. Not that it matters. Deej says, whoever wrote this dumb as hell, they call Stephen King movie was in support. That's right. He was in, it was freaking Stand By Me. Stand By Me. Keely Chow says, hey, everybody, what's going on? Hey, Keely. Multi-Gunman says, Bird, I have to head out now. Have a good day. Take care, Multi-Gunman. Multi-Gunman says, have a good day, everyone. See you guys later. And Deej says he's banned on his way out. Keely Chow says, Marina Sirtis, hello, nurse, and puts in a bunch of ducks. Yvette says, Bird, that's crap. Greeks do not consider actors sex workers. Well, Marina Sirtis' parents does, or at least she says they do. Executive producer Saul Leibowitz says Keely Chow, opinions on Will Wheaton and Marina Sirtis. Miss Lindell says she just looks like a fat little kid. Executive producer Saul Leibowitz says, in a street fight, do you think Marina Sirtis could beat up Will Wheaton? Oof. You know, now I think she probably could. I think she probably could. I don't know when he was 21 and she was 30 something, 35, 40. I don't know. Keely Chow says, executive producer Saul Leibowitz, I only liked Will Wheaton when he was guest starring on Big Bang Theory. You know, Big Bang Theory did a lot to rebuild his career, I think. Yeah, imagine if Big Bang Theory never existed, Will Wheaton would have been forgotten. I don't think we'd ever have Will Wheaton back for The Ready Room. I don't think we'd have Will Wheaton back in Star Trek Picard season 2. I think he would have been another forgotten childhood actor. Executive producer Saul Leibowitz says there is never a bad time for kissing Dax. Maybe. That might be true. Dan Van says, yes, she was in a few British shows, apparently before Star Trek. John Araki says, Bird already has 3 Latinas in his basement. Deej Odyssey says, Marina claims babysitter's teenage sons oh yeah, only on a bird string. Keely Chow says, executive producer Saul Leibowitz, I'm an old school liberal and I don't like what Marina Sirtis said about the people and the state of Texas. Dan Van says, at least you're not discussing Philip Schofield, which is something the British news is currently. Deed says, Dan Van Bird will get to that news in about 3 years from now. I have no idea who that is. So, Keely Chow says to Saul Leibowitz, I think Marina Sirtis could beat up Will Wheaton. Deed says, just swallow a couple of tapeworms. They will keep the weight down. Dan Van says she should always split the chocolate. She would always spit the chocolate out at the TNG filming. And Dan Van says Dr. Phlox will give you the tapeworm. Dan Van, what was the reason she decided to tell people now? It's a great question. Dan Van says, I've not actually seen any of the track shows she did in the UK before, any of the TV shows she did in the UK before Star Trek. Dan Van says, as a kid, I was on a train and some guy grabbed my knee and was shaking it. My mom pulled the train cord and the transport police arrived. He thought I was his nephew. Sorry to hear that. Some of the films or TV shows can have a different title in England, but I'm pretty sure it's called Stand By Me Here. Yes. Dan Van says, wasn't Will Wheaton also on a town called Eureka? Yeah, Eureka is the name. I don't know if he was on it. Deej says, yes, he was on some episodes of Eureka. And Miss Lindell says, Marina's Texas comments are the reason I can't stand her now. I was so damn happy when she left Twitter. That's right, she left Twitter. Good for her. Good for her for following through. Okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and head on over to Dear Bop. Sean PRK says, Kapla Bird, hope you and the family are doing well today. Hope you are doing well today, Sean. Dear Bop, what are you talking about? The son of my sister. What? I tattooed Chuck on your chest. By the way, what happened to the flower Chuck? He was a little fruity. Oh, want the boss to take him fishing? Good night. Love, Uncle Paulie. I vaguely think that had something to do with last week's Dear Bop, but I forgot. Dear Bop, I had a health scare and found a lump on my chest. And I went to the hospital and had some tests, and they said it was benign, unformed nipple. I hate that bodies can produce things onto skin which aren't needed. They won't remove it because they said it was cosmetic and it would be expensive. Doesn't look like a nipple, just a cluster of unformed cells in a group, like a little bump on my chest, but noticeable. How do I go on and feel okay with this? I mean, if you saw what my chest looked like, you wouldn't care. One bump, one little bump, I can put a Band-Aid on it if it bothers you. Honestly, just don't even worry about it. Nobody cares. I have some sad news for you. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Okay? No hot woman is going to be rubbing your chest and see this bump and say, oh my God, there's a bump on your chest. I'm not going to have hot, passionate sex with you now and get up and leave. That's not going to happen. You're either going to get it or you're not. A bump on your chest isn't going to change it. Now, maybe you keep a t-shirt on so it doesn't get a whole bunch of extra radiation from the sun and doesn't, accidentally turn cancerous or something, as unformed bags of cells are apt to do. But yeah, just make sure you take extra sun precautions. Otherwise, don't worry about it. Dear Bop, can I ask if you have any relation or feelings towards the Batman franchise and related superheroes, including Flash? Yes, you can ask. And the answer is no. I really don't give a shit about Batman or the Flash. I mean, I watched most of the Batman movies. I thought they were pretty decent, but that's it. I don't really care. I never watched the Flash. Zero fucks to give about the Flash. And Batman movies, if I hear they're good, I'll watch them. Dear Bop, New York commissioner here. I heard you got a new gas grill. That is a violation of New York's anti-gas legislation and is not grandfathered in. Due to this blatant disregard for the law, we will be sending you a $5,000 fine in the mail. You know, I'm totally not surprised. I think that's actually a lot more believable. Mhm. Dan Benz has actually happened in a Friends episode. The lady wouldn't have sex with Chandler because he had a third nipple. That's a comedy, Dan Ben. That's a comedy. It's a joke. Dee's bump on your chest could be your nipple. And Dan Ben says, I don't have much of a connection with DC. Dear Bob, last Monday on Pop Culture Curators fundraiser, I got blackout drunk and don't remember anything from the day after. I ate the worm from the tequila bottle and no one will tell me anything that happened. Can you give me the highlights? Who are you? I don't remember. I don't remember anyone drinking tequila, gorilla. I mean, wait, did I say? Yeah, I don't know who you are. I don't remember anybody drinking tequila. Sorry, gorilla. Dear Bob, we are watching Indiana Jones this month. Does he a grave robber from Indiana Summit pretty much? Is he a grave robber from Indiana? Sum it up. He can be described as a grave robber. Dear Bob, how do you keep Lady Gaga entertained? You poke her face. You poke her face. Okay. Dear Bob, I just read that. Dear Bob, you son of a bitch. I left the lake yesterday to come watch Twilight Zone and you didn't have it on. You son of a bitch. Sorry, gorilla. Dear Bob, what do you need to become a professional? No, soft putty. Dear Bob, why are you playing and pausing the video with Marina Sirtis? We can hear the audio. I've got to break it up. Dear Bob, how do I unclog a toilet? I really need to go, but I'm afraid because the toilet is already plugged up. Please help. You need a plunger. This is why you should always have a plunger next to your toilet. Okay? As long as I've owned a house, when I was walking, I made sure there was a plunger next to every toilet in the house. God forbid you're at a guest was over or you were there and you needed a plunger. You don't want to go running around the house yelling, where's the plunger? Where's the plunger? It's right there. You use it. You try, at least you try, right? It might not work, but at least you have half a shot. And, then you clean it and you put it back and you don't tell anybody you ever did anything. That's what you do. Okay? So if they don't have a plunger next to the toilet, then it's their own fault. Dear Bob, I'm changing my name to Silly Putty and I will become a better person. Salt. Dear Bob, Russian Muslim wife is the best. It's Soviet. Dear Bob, who is the worst Batman in your opinion? I have no idea. I can't name. I don't know the names. Dear Bob, Alyssa Silverstone is a Batgirl. Hot or not? Oh, as Batgirl. Hot or not? I'd say she's probably more attractive not as Batgirl. I'm gonna have to go with not. Dear Bob, I would like to invite you to my quinceañera. Can you tell me your mailing address? I want to send you an official invitation. Thank you, and see you at my casa soon. Jedi Bill. I don't know what that is, a quinceañera, but anybody needs, you can contact me at BertoPray5 at AOL.com or on Twitter or however. Anyway. LDG says it was Gorilla. Deed says Gorilla ate the worm. LDG is lolling. Dan Van says Poker Face is one of Lady Gaga's songs. Oh, I had no idea. Dan Van says looks like one boob is smaller than the other. And Hakeem says Val Kilmer was the worst Batman to me. Well, then he was probably the worst Batman for me too. And we got one final Dear Bob. Thinking of starting a YouTube channel. It seems really easy to do, and I see a lot of others doing it. I see this one guy who just talks to his camera. Oh, God damn it. Soft putty. Okay, that is it for today, guys. Thank you all for hanging out. I appreciate it. This week, if all goes well, we'll do Enterprise on Wednesday and Bed Life again on Friday. I am still a bit under the weather, though, so no promises. I'll hang around best I can, keep you guys updated, and I really appreciate all the well wishes. So thank you all so much. I'll be around, I guess, for in a bit, and I'll see you all. Cop Pla all, bird out.